guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Emily. If you're new here, this video I'm going to be doing a book haul with all the books I've accumulated over the last 3 months. I have 23 books here today, so this is basically from me collecting from the 1st of January. Let's get started with the book haul. So the first book that I received in January was The Red Scholar's Wake by Alia D. Bodard. I honestly have no idea what this book is about. This was my first book for the Illumicrate subscription. I joined up at the end of November, so this was December's pick. Didn't receive it until the end of December, so basically start of the year. Crate special edition. It has sprayed edges. I think the sprayed edges are quite stunning. Goes from an ombre from blue to purple, and then the end pages look like this on both sides, so it is quite beautiful. Naked hardcover. It looks like there is a spaceship on there, and yeah, it's just got some silver foiling on the spine. It has a signed booklet. I'm pretty sure it's about two female main characters. I know there's a bit of lesbian romance in this book, so I am really excited to get to this. And I got Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I have already read this book. I rated 3 out of 5 stars. Didn't love it. This is about Lily and Lo, their first book in the series. I know there's 10 books I think in the Addicted to You series. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this. I didn't love it. I know it's meant to get better. Honestly, Lily and Lo frustrated me so much. I don't know, it's just something that I wouldn't normally gravitate towards, and honestly I don't read a lot of romance, so maybe this isn't for me. These were the 2 books that I did receive first in the year, so now I'm just going to continue on with what I have on this pile. One of the next books that I picked up is Rose and Blood. This is a manga series. It's quite like a trashy manga. I just love reading it. It's kind of just funny to me. It's about a group of vampires who have taken on this woman who is now their maid, and only just found out that they're vampires, but they eat crystals, so the crystals are their blood, so they crystallize women and turn them into like crystals, and they eat the crystals. It's quite weird, but it's quite funny, so that's why I continue reading on with the series. I have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This book I don't know much about. I know it's a romance, but I think there's some psychological fiction involved in this. I'm not too sure though, I could be wrong. I know the female in this has bipolar, and the male in this book is a doctoral student. I have heard it's quite heartbreaking, so I do want to get to this quite soon. I haven't read anything from Olivia Blake, but I have heard that her writing style is quite unique. I really do look forward to picking this one up. And then we have volume 4 and volume 5 of Spy Family. So I picked these up at different times, but I did read this one back in January. I think I read this one back in January, 5 stars. I read this one this month, obviously, in my reading vlog, 5 stars again. This series is a 5-star series for me. I freaking love this series so much. The next book is Circe by Madeline Miller. I have already read this, as you can see. This was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely love the retelling of Circe. As if you don't know who Circe is, well, Greek myths, she is a nymph, a witch. They just treated her so poorly, and her story is so beautiful. By Madeline Miller to definitely pick up Circe. I do have the Song of Achilles, and I really want to read Galentine, I think it's called, a little short story by her. So of Greek mythology. It's so interesting, and I highly recommend you pick this one up. Madeline Miller's writing style is absolutely beautiful. The way that she writes is so enthralling. I absolutely love this story. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This is another one that I have also read and absolutely heavily annotated. I love this book. Very heartbreaking, the way that Sylvia talked about mental health. This is also meant to have a lot of autobiographical references. Sylvia Plath actually did take her own life back in the 1960s, so this book was written in the, it was published in the 60s. Sylvia dealt heavily with depression in the 1950s. She attempted to take her own life more than once. So we follow Esther, who is a 19-year-old, and she arrived in New York City. So we just go through her life as a writing student in New York back in the 1950s, the way she was treated, her relationship with faith and purity. A beautiful book. It was written so well. It felt like that you were reading a poem. The way that Sylvia wrote, you could just feel the emotion throughout the whole novel. I was sobbing. If you haven't picked up The Bell Jar, I highly do recommend it. I feel like everyone should read this once in their life. It might not be for you, but for me, I really did love this story, and I highly recommend it as well. This was a 5 out of 5 star for me. We have Bunny by Moto Award. I actually have read this month, so I'm not going to tell you what my star rating was. I'm going to do a March wrap up, so you will find out in detail how I felt about this book, so I just thought I'd mention this. We have Daisy Jones and the Six. This was a 5-star read. I freaking love this book, and I also love the show adaptation. I thought that the show adaptation was amazing. Like Riley Keough, Sam Claflin, amazing. Suki Waterhouse, I just could not stop watching. I binged the whole show in like, well, I watched the first 3 episodes when they aired, and then I binged the rest of the series last night. So I was crying for like an hour after the last episode ended. You know, there are some differences from the book and the show, but obviously you get that with adaptations. Not everything's going to be perfect, and they kind of just fit in what they believe will work better in a show compared to the book. Honestly, Taylor Jenkins Reid could do no wrong. Only novel that I've read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I really want to start reading more of her backlist. So if you guys have any recommendations on what I should read next by Taylor Jenkins Reid, please let me know down in the comments. The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. Need I say more? I love Holly Black. I love the Folky of the Air trilogy. Elfheim is one of my favorite fictional worlds. I love this book. We follow Siren and Oak. Honestly, what was really interesting to me is when I got this novel, I thought that we were going to be reading from Oak's perspective, while we actually read from Siren's perspective. So if you guys don't know who Oak is, he is Jude's younger brother. So back in the Folk of the Air, he was, I think, 8 years old when those books were going on. We follow him when he's 17, so this is quite later on. I really love this. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I do know, and I have read some reviews, that it is quite mixed. Some people did not love it. Some people just thought that it was quite boring and there was not much plot to it. I honestly love the characters. I felt like I connected a lot with Siren, and I thought that her story should have been told, and we did get a glimpse of what she was going through as a younger child. I think it was The Wicked King that we first saw her. I could be wrong, but I really did love this. And then we have Glint and Gleam by Raven Kennedy. These are the next 2 books in the Plated Prisoners series. These were the gift voucher that my brother got me for Christmas. So I have read Guild. I did like that. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I am excited to continue on with this. I have heard, obviously, Guild wasn't amazing. Like, apparently the series just gets better and better. So I do look forward to seeing who the love interest is. I have no idea. I know that it's enemies to lovers, Forks Proximity, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I do look forward to picking these ones up. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevins. I have only heard amazing things about this book. So we follow 2 characters. I know that there is talk about chronic pain and illness, children being in the hospital. Okay, so I'm just going to read the synopsis of this because I really do think that this is quite an interesting, well, it will be quite an interesting read. I really do want to pick this up soon. It was in my March hopefuls, but we'll see if we get to this because I'm quite a mood reader. Basically, it's not a romance, but it is about love. 2 kids meet in a hospital gaming room in 1987. One is visiting her sister, the other is recovering from a car crash. The days and months are long there. Their love of video games become a shared world of joy, escape and fierce competition, but all too soon that time is over, fades from view. When the pair spot each other 8 years later in a crowded train station, they are encapsulated back to the moment. The spark is immediate, and together they get to work on what they love, making games to delight, challenge and immerse players, finding an intimacy in digital worlds that includes them in their real life. Their collaborations make them superstars. This is the story of the perfect world Sadie and Sam build, the imperfect world they live in, and everything that comes after success, money, fame, duplicity, tragedy. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow takes us on a dazzling imaginative quest as it examines the nature of identity, creativity, disability, failure, redemptive possibilities in play, and above all I need to connect to be loved and to love. I love video games. I actually quite a lot of them. I have a PC, PS5 and a Nintendo Switch, and I love video games, so I feel like I'm absolutely going to love this. Wait to pick it up. So the next book that I have is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I know that this is about Emily who studies the folklore. I think there's a romance that blossoms in this. I don't know too much else. I was really drawn to the cover, and from the vibes that it was giving me, it just reminds me so much of the Spiderwick Chronicles. I don't know if you guys have read or watched the movie of the Spiderwick Chronicles, but I absolutely love that as a child, and I still do. Like, it's one of the movies that I just go for comfort. I just love it so much. So yeah, really look forward to picking this one up as well. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atisha Mosberg. Now, I have heard this is quite an interesting read. I have heard that not everyone is going to love this. It's quite depressing. So this is what the synopsis says. Young, thin, pretty, a recent Columbia graduate, an apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan paid for her by inheritance. A narrator has many of the advantages of life, But there is a vacuum at the heart of things, and it isn't just the loss of her parents, or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her relationship with her best friend. It's the year 2000 in the world's greatest city, a glitter with wealth and possibility. What could be so terribly wrong? I just really do look forward to picking this up. From what I've heard, Atesha Mosfeg's writing is quite unique, so obviously it won't be for everyone, but I do really look forward to reading this. I hopefully will pick this up soon. It is quite, I think, a short, oh, it's not that short, but it's 288 pages, so I definitely could read this quite quickly. I hope that I do enjoy it though. I have heard some quite mixed reviews on this, but I do look forward to reading it myself and giving it my all before the coffee gets cold. Now, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the author of this novel. This book is about time travel, going back in time, making wrong things right, saying goodbye to loved ones. The only risk though is that you have to return back to the coffee shop before the coffee gets cold. So yeah, we follow 4 different narratives, 4 different short stories of each person going back in time, 4 different narrative short stories. It is quite heartbreaking, but I am ready to get my heart broken. I am ready to read this. I'm ready to cry my eyes out, so I cannot wait to get to this. Next we have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Imaz. I'm quite sure that's how you pronounce her name. From what I know, this is a very slow burn romance. We follow 2 people, a wedding in Spain, the most infuriating man, 3 days to convince your family you're actually in love. So it's about fake dating, slow burn, fox proximity, strangers to lovers. I'm not too sure. It doesn't really give me much text. But yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this, but I do look forward to seeing my actual thoughts and opinion. I may love it, I may not. Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. I picked this up strictly because I love the series. I love House of the Dragon. I thought that the series was phenomenal. I haven't read or watched Game of Thrones, but I really do want to start with the Targaryens. So I have heard that to pick Fire and Blood first is very, very thick. Very thick. Well over 700 pages, but illustrations in this, like, I'm sorry. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. Anything with illustrations, I will pick it up. I don't care how long it is. Like, hello? The detail? Amazing. Honestly, phenomenal. I'm really excited to eventually pick this up. I have to wait another year or so to next season. I'm just really excited to pick this up though. This is very much high fantasy. I'm interested to go in depth and detail about the Targaryen and their family and the dragons. I'm just really excited. Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Melor. I have only heard really good things about this. I don't know, I haven't really read anything, like I haven't read any bad reviews, but I'm really hoping that I'm going to love this. Talk is slipping from Cleo's grasp. 24, at a different party every night, and with a student visa that's swiftly running out, she doesn't even have enough money for cigarettes. But then the chance encounter on New Year's Eve offers her a way. Frank, successful and 20 years older, can give her the security she craves and the green card she needs. And in Cleo, he sees a life filled with beauty, art and freedom. As the two rush headlong into an impulsive marriage and their friends are drawn into the tumultuous orbit, what began as a chance meeting will change all their lives forever. This sounds so good. It's definitely going to be a lot of character growth. I do really look forward to picking this one up. I've only heard amazing things about this. I have the selected works of Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know why I wanted to pick this up so badly. I just thought that Edgar Allan Poe's writing and his creative stories were so interesting. Really excited to get to The Fall of the House of Usher. I have obviously heard amazing things about that short story in particular. There is an inspired novel by T. Kingfisher, which I really want to pick up. It is a horror novel, so it's meant to be quite eerie. Edgar Allan Poe was known for his quite unique stories. Writing this back in the 19th century, I had to pick up the rest of his work because I'm very intrigued. But yeah, I've heard amazing things about Edgar Allan Poe, and I really want to read more classics this year. So I have The Picture of Dorian Gray coming by Oscar Wilde in the mail, so I might do a reading vlog for that. I'm going to heavily annotate it. I'm just really excited to pick that one up as well. Next is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Now I got this cute little Amazon edition. It's got gold foiling. It's tiny, like it is face reference. It is absolutely tiny. The end pages are so beautiful though. I just had to pick up this little edition. Now I haven't read this yet. I was going to read it back in February, and I obviously am such a mood reader that I did not pick this up, but I really do want to pick this up soon. This is one of the classics that I want to read in 2023. Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This baby is thick. High Fantasy Dragons. Need I say more? This is obviously why I picked it up, but I've heard only amazing things about this duology. I think as far there is a second book that has just come out, so I really do want to pick this up soon. I'm just in like a mood for thick chunky books. I read A Court of Silver Flames last month, 5 out of 5 stars, easy. I just cannot wait to pick this up. I feel like I'm going to absolutely devour this. I do want to annotate it as well, so it's going to look super aesthetic when I finish. Then once I finish this, I might pick up the second book. The only thing is the size difference in the novels. I just don't like that when I have a series already and I just want to stick to the same like size. But yeah, obviously I do look forward to picking this one up too. That's why I bought it. How many times have I said that this video though? That's everything, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. For video recommendations, please let me know down in the comment. If you don't already, please go follow my Bookstagram, which is booksby__Emily. I put it on the screen here. A lot of these will have reviews once I do finish them, and some of the books that I have read already, there are reviews up on my Bookstagram if you want to go read those. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.